Yeah, we got to turn around here. I guess we're live, right, Josh?
We are live.
Finally live here, and sorry for all the technical difficulties. We're here in Halstead, the biggest little city, right, Kelly?
That's right.
A couple studs are from Halstead, right? Just a couple.
That guy that just drove by in that Mustang, and who else?
You're funny. Hey, anyway, everybody, welcome to the show. Sorry we're a little bit late. We're here in Halstead for the Old Settlers. I don't know how many it is, 120, 130 or something like that.
A lot of them.
But anyway, as always, we've been doing this quite a few years, haven't we, Josh, here in the big city? Of course, it's my hometown and Kelly's hometown, and we're getting ready for the parade. It's kicking off here at 10 o'clock. Of course, the car show over to Scout Cabin, all kinds of things going on. It's the 5-year. Every 5 years, they bring back the reunion, right?
Yeah.
How many years have you been out of high school? What year did you graduate?
03.
03.
It's been a minute.
Hey, hold on a minute here, buddy.
What about you?
I hate to tell you, it's my 40th. Anniversary. So we would my class got together last night, but we've missed a lot of my class already. A lot of my classmates have passed away, but not very many of them got together last night. But I think we're trying to get together tonight. I couldn't get there because I was in the big city of Salina racing from that part. But anyway, we're here in the big city of Halstead, kicking off the parade here at 10 o'clock, and got some vehicles here. The ice cream truck's on its way. So anyway, hey, this is a call-in show, 316-462-3673. That's dials right to the main store. It goes into the reception. Tell them you want to get patched in the radio show. They'll patch us through, and we'll get a great price for each and every caller. And whatever you want to talk about, it's supposed to be what's ailing your car, but if you want to talk about anything, new products or racing, or you want to talk about what's going on here at Halstead, the car show that we're sponsoring over there, whatever works, love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. And as always, Josh, what's in that package before Kelly tries to hang the clothesline?
We're all wound up in some cords here in the panic trying to get this thing up and going and moving cameras around and all that stuff. But anyways, for each and every caller that calls in, we're going to mail you out a package. It's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. While we're performing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components, making sure that vehicle's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're with us at the big corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, so let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. Anyway, once again, we're here in Halstead, right along 6th Street. And, Kelly, you got any memories of that building right over there behind us?
Oh, man. Yeah, one or two.
Just one or two?
That,
There's
I
a
definitely...
lot of pausing going on. Did you notice that, Josh?
I definitely never got in trouble there or anything, so all of them were good memories.
Trouble is a different word for you.
Yeah.
I think you got in a lot of issues. Is that what we want to say?
Yeah, maybe one or two.
Yeah. So, anyway, Kelly, this has changed so much since I was here. All we had was this one little building right here, and all this has been added on and everything since I've been gone and stuff. But I don't know when I can't remember when they added that. Is that? Was that here?
It was not here when I was here.
Okay.
I think it was. I think it's been there close to 10 years or so now. It's been there a while.
Wow. Yeah. So anyway, let's get the phones ringing. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. But we're here getting ready to kick off the parade, and we got the Deuce here. We're going to be shooting some T-shirts out of. The ice cream truck's on its way to be here shortly. Got a few Tuscany trucks ready to drive through that are pretty cool looking from that part. So anyway,
got a couple comments on the chat, people checking in, and so we've got Jason Cox says good morning, gentlemen. Delbert Alt says good morning, guys. Glad you're back this week.
Yeah, we missed out last week, didn't we, Josh?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We were both of us were kind of gone.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last week I was we raced in Salina last Friday night, and then we drove up to Kansas City to go practice up at Boone, Iowa, and then Josh was hanging out at the.
I went to the lake.
He went to the lake, hanging out.
Yeah.
So we had to postpone the show last week. So sorry about that. So yeah, Del, we're glad we're back live again too to talk about whatever's going on in the automobile world. And let's get some while we're waiting on some callers and stuff. Let's talk about some new products because a lot of things are happening with the 23s. Some order banks have opened up. We can now order F-150s. We can order Escapes. We can order Edges, and we can order Explorers, Transits. But the exciting part, we got another lightning in yesterday.
Yep.
And, of course, it left very fast. Look at that hot rod. I tell you, there's so many neat. Look at that. I love some of those.
Headed to the car show.
I still can't believe these towns that have so many cars hidden away in garages that come out.
Yep.
And I should have brought a few of my hot rods over too, but I kind of run out of time. That's what I should have done.
Yep.
It's okay. Next year, I keep telling myself every year I do this that I'm going to plan better. And get all my shit up
Next year.
And here we are again this year, and I still don't have any of my hot rods here. So
And then I think I got the first call about doing all this. That was yesterday afternoon or so.
No, it's more for that.
This is way planned out.
As we say, we have too many irons in the fire. That's
Yes.
what my dad used to always tell me. And that is no kidding. We got so many things going on and stuff like that too. But anyway, so
you're talking about you going up to Boone, Iowa, and what was that like?
well, I tell you, I've never been to Boone, Iowa, and it is the kind of the Boone Nationals. It's coming up here in September. It's kind of the biggest race for the IMC races out there. For just the IMC modified class, there's 10,000 modifieds across the country that race in that class. And so the Boone Nationals is the final year-end battle where they get together, and they'll have probably 400 just modifieds there. Plus, you got stock cars and hobby stocks and all that kind of stuff. So I got there, and it is a cool place. It wasn't. I was expecting something like the facilities that Dodge City has. Dodge City has probably the second best. I mean, Lucas Oil's got the best facilities for a drag strip. I mean, a dirt track I've ever been to. Then Dodge City is second. But Boone was cool, just older. But the funny thing about the track, the dirt is black. It's not brown, it's black. So I asked a couple of people, I said, no, that's just how our dirt is up here. But I'm telling you, those guys there at Boone, I mean, it's a 4-groove track, and it's fast everywhere you got to go, and you got to be up on the wheel. And that's why we went, because we're going to go to the Boone National. Jake got invited for a invitational race on the Friday, I don't know, 6th, 7th, or 8th, whatever date that is. So I normally wasn't going to go run that race because it's so far, 6 hours, and then all those cars and all that stuff. But since he got invited to that race, and they invited 33 guys to race that Friday race throughout the country.
Wow.
And so he got the invite, so we're going to go. So we went to practice, and it's not just it's not like racing Sliner, Dodge, or Hayes. It's a whole different ball game, and sort of thing. So that's why we did that, to get practice, get ready for when we go back up there the first weekend of September. I think September 3rd is a Saturday night. We race then, and then we don't race again until Wednesday. And then, of course, Friday's that big race that they call it the invitational race. And so it'll be interesting to see what we can do in that race. I just didn't want to get up there and look like a fool. And if we went and not practice, I'd have looked like a fool, I promise you.
Now, I heard they get a little intense with track prep.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that is one thing that always blows me away, is how long it takes to prep some tracks, but at different facilities and things like that. But I'm telling you, every track promoter needs to go to Boone, Iowa, and watch those guys go. I mean, within 20 minutes, they had ripped that track up completely. They had watered it, they had packed it, and it was ready to go race, and it was a perfect track. But again, they had 6 tractors out there running around.
That's wild.
They had 2 school buses full of kids, and they put the kids there for the weight, but it was cool. And they had a fire truck also running around out there packing that thing down. But they knew what they were doing. They had that thing dialed in, and the surface, some tracks get holes in it, do whatever. Not this. What do we got? It's like he's missing a muffler, Josh.
That's so everybody else knows he's coming.
Is that what it is? It's for you got a muffler on yours?
Yeah, I do. It is not that loud.
Okay, so we'll see if we see some more hot rods coming up through here in a little bit, because I'm sure we will with the car show coming up here too.
Yep.
So, things pop up on the chat deal every now and then. And any question, do you really want to read it, or should you not? So we got one on here from somebody. I think you can probably figure this out, but it says 40 years out of high school. Might want to check out the nursing home in Halstead while you're there.
I don't think it's open anymore.
So,
it's kind of crazy. I can't believe it's 40 years either. That's kind of crazy from that part, but it is what it is. Just another day. How I kind of look at it, it's kind of like a birthday. It's just another day.
Yeah.
So
that come from somebody that always likes to discuss but never wants to call in.
Yeah,
so.
I know. A couple times he'd call in, but not very many.
Yeah.
Not very many. So well, that's the other thing, Josh. He was, while you were gone last week, he texted me about, thought he should come in and take your spot while you
should have. Yeah.
He said he needed a shirt, and I said, well, don't come in shirtless.
Well, if that's all he needs, we can get him one of them. So.
I told him, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
make that and just see when he can jump in that bandwagon for this little bit. Take some of them stuff too. So,
but anyways, so you said order banks are open. How about like the Maverick?
Okay, yeah, let's go into that. They were going to open it the 1st of August, and they postponed it back because there's so many. I think they thought about pushing some of the 22s into 23, but I think they decided let's build some more 22s. So they pushed the order bank on the Maverick back another 30 days. So sometime in September, it's going to open up. Some exciting stuff is the 23 Lightning order bank is going to – technically it's going to open, but we've got another 60-some orders in the system that are going to get built first. So I still really can't order a Lightning. We're going to take care of those 60 units people first. And we're making the phone calls now to make sure those people are still in and still want a Lightning and all that kind of stuff too. So I haven't heard the number of how many Lightnings we're going to get for 23. I hope it's of course, we got 5 for 22.
Yeah.
So I hope it's going to be more and all that kind of stuff too, but I just don't know. I don't know why I can't get a number out of Ford, but I can't.
What do you think on our second courtesy Lightning on it showing up?
We're not getting a second one.
Oh, okay.
We just got the one Lightning, the Pro. And then we just delivered a Lariat, normal battery, and then we got 2 more Lariats coming that are the extended range is what we have coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm going to keep that 22 Lightning around for a while just to make sure we have it and stuff too.
Sure.
To keep it up.
Were they doing the same thing with that as far as everybody's able to sell it at the same time like they did on the Broncos?
Okay, one more time.
Were they were releasing it for all the dealers to sell their Lightnings at the same time? Or
No.
Is that okay?
No, they didn't do that on that because that's what they did on the Bronco. And the Bronco, they made everybody because everybody didn't get their Broncos at the same time. So it was supposed to be the Broncos to stay in for 6 months.
Yeah.
But then they turned around and said, okay, this is the date that you can start selling your Broncos. Of course, we kept our Bronco just because I want someone to have something to drive, and it's amazing how many test drives. Oh, we got somebody on the line. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Let's go to the phones and let's talk to Denny. Denny, you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. My question, I'm trying to help out my niece here on her car. It's a 2013 Ford Edge. Now, from what she told me, that she had it in there over a year ago, but basically her Bluetooth and her aux cord quit working in that car. And then she said a little over a year ago they were ordering the parts. It's accessory protocol interface module. But in essence, I don't know if the holdup or the part's not available, but she said it's been a year before she gets the part. So does she have any option? Is that part just not available? So where does she go from here?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And right now we are having some, especially on those modules, in some cases, extreme length of time to get them. A year seems extremely long. So the first thing I would want to do is look into her specific situation and see where we're at with it. The unfortunate side of things is when some of these parts goes on back order, Ford doesn't really do us any favors. And sometimes they will, if they're unable to fill an order for a certain amount of time, it just deletes the order or just drops off. And then you got to reorder the part. And they'll do that in a couple of different situations. One, if they like say there's a revision to that part number and they change part numbers on it and stuff like that. And so something maybe could have fell through the cracks. A year seems like a really long time from that side of things. So we'll get your number here, or we got your number here, and I'll give you a call after the show, find out some more information from you and look specifically into that situation. But there is a case in points where, man, we're having some hard time getting some parts. I think as far as manufacturers go, I think Ford has done, a outstanding job, or we're in a lot better situation than a lot of the other manufacturers in that case. But I can think of, quite a few other parts right off the top of my head that you're thinking of situations and stories, and it's like, man, what's taking so long? But I get it. Everybody, I mean, you go everywhere, anywhere, or do anything, and it's across every industry for sure. So, but after the show,
yeah.
After the show here, I'll get get on the phone with you. If I could get some information, or if you can have it ready to go, like the VIN number and stuff like that, and I'll figure out exactly where we're at with it for you. Okay.
All right. Hey, I really appreciate your help. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Thank you for the call.
Let's dive into that a little bit deeper too and stuff, because I'm just with my customers and the little bit that I'm involved with you guys is parts and thing. It is frustrating, but it's our supply chain, and it's kind of like the other day I had a customer say, "Can't you do anything to expedite this part?" And I want you to know that we're doing everything we can with every part to expedite as much as we can. It's so much out of our control of what's happening there too. It's just like we call it the APM modules that we had programming. We've had cars sitting there for a month waiting on just to get a programming going
or more.
and stuff. And so it's frustrating on your end, but it's frustrating on our end too. We want to fix your cars. We want to get the parts. It's not that we don't want to, but trying to expedite something that you just can't get. And it's not just us, because, we work on every make and model in our shop. We had a GMC the other day that we needed a brake control module for, electronic brake control module. We called General Motors, a GM dealer. They said they could have it in 3 to 4 days. Guess what? It took 4 weeks before we ended up getting it. Yeah. So it's not just Ford. It's everybody's the way that's going and everything else too. And it's frustrating, but I don't know where we're out of this, how long we're out of this loop, from that part. It's now I will tell you, I'm on that board with Ford for what we call FDAF, and looking at the supply chain and what we're coming with new cars. And the next 90 to 120 days, the amount of vehicles that Ford thinks they can build. But again, it's all going back to, can they get the parts, can get the suppliers to get them the parts and everything. It looks like 90 to 120 days, it's going to be about the best it's been, but it's still not back to 100% of normal either.
Well, and then you go through that. Okay, now they've got it produced, and it's just the next chain, the link in the chain that you got to focus on. And so, okay, now how about shipping them? Getting them out.
I've got the shipping's the next problem. I got F-150 sitting in Dearborn. I know of exactly one truck, because it's an ordered unit the guy ordered with me. It was built March 31st, and it's still sitting in Dearborn. They cannot, for some reason, get that truck on. I don't know if it's just they built it and didn't put everything on it, or what it is, or whatever. But there's a bunch of trucks sitting in Kansas City, and so that's another part of our supply chain. All these truckers that, when COVID hit, got laid off. Now they're trying to hire truckers back, and that's what's happened in Dearborn. They're telling me is trains. They can't get conductors to go, or engineers, whatever you call those guys that drive the trains, to get them to drive the trains out of there.
Yeah.
So it's just a battle, and this is. Every business I go to right now, it's everybody wants help, and I don't know where the help went, and from that part, I just don't know where everybody went and why everybody needs so many jobs. It's crazy. We're on the Wichita Crime Commission, and we sat down with them, and the Wichita Police Department's trying to figure out how to hire 10 more police officers. You can't find police officers that we need and stuff too. So it's an uphill battle, and I don't know where we're going to be out on the supply chain, but I'm thinking we got a couple years to go here.
So let's go to the phones here, and let's talk to Greg. Greg, you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
You guys are having a great day out in Halstead. I was calling in because Phil said something one time about, call in about my EcoBoost or Power Boost, and talk about how we've used it or how it's changed things or been different.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted to, really love the generator. We took it on a vacation this summer, and we have a little pop-up camper, but we weigh about 3,000 pounds, and drove all the way up to Wyoming. I don't know. Really love the trailering profiles. I didn't, before I bought this truck, I didn't know all the things it could do, but we've been figuring it out over the last, 6-8 months. But I don't know. We drove about 2,000 miles of that trailer all across I-80, which means we're driving about, 75 or 80. And for the whole trip, we got 16.5 miles to the gallon. When we went camping, we were way out in the national forest, and we used the generator. It's so wild that we're able to have all that capability. Anyway, and I don't know. It's really cool. 16.5 with the trailer and moving.
Yeah, that's that truck is very impressive.
Very
for
much
sure.
so.
And the generator that they put on these things. When we went down to the training class in Texas, they were doing it at the NASCAR spot there, and they did it in the parking lot, and they had four semi trailers that folded out for displays on, the different had frames and engines and all sorts of stuff displaying the trucks in different stages of assembly. And then I remember one of them specifically, it was set up like a construction site. And so there was, table saws and air compressors and a heater and all that stuff. And they went through and was displaying the power boost and the generator on it. And then at the end of the deal, after they displayed everything, they said, we have everything out here is being powered by an F-150. And it was it was absolutely eye-opening as to
That's
the
wild
capabilities of what those things could do. And so, when you're off the grid like that, I could see that being a huge benefit, for those guys. And even as you get into these EV vehicles or the electric vehicles and like the Lightning F-150, you've seen the commercials on TV where they're not only using it to power the vehicle, but in situations that you could power your home with it, which that's that's huge, to be able to do that and think of it both ways. So very, the research and development that they put into these things is absolutely crazy. And you always think of, I don't know, I remember, specifically like adaptive cruise control coming out and thinking, man, why do you need that? It's just not. And now if I get in a truck that doesn't have it, it's like, it's just, you become accustomed to it. It's so much safer and so much better for the vehicle. And the next year they'll come out with another option and you're like, well, that's maybe kind of overkill. And then about 6 months, a year later, it's like, wow, I really need that. So.
Yep. I have a King Ranch that has the massaging seats and everything. And my wife's always like, oh, they're going to come out with something else. You're going to upgrade in a few years anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. But I also want to mention something else because I really appreciate you guys. As soon as we came back, I knew I needed to get my oil changed because we left a lot of towing and we were due anyway. But I didn't know you guys filled chips and windshields. I mean, I think,
Yep.
I don't know. You guys, it was nice to be able to drop it off and everything got done all at once. I didn't have to go to a specialty store just to fill a chip and windshield. But
yeah, we really do try to think outside the box, I guess, or just make it a one-stop shop all the way from, windshield replacements to filling cracks in windshields to PDR. I think we've got some more things coming. But again, it's just about taking care of people and making it convenient and easy for them to do what they need to have done.
Yep. Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys taking care of my truck and
doing
what you do.
We appreciate the phone call and the update and all that good stuff. And you have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thanks. You too.
All right,
bye.
It is crazy what these F-150s have on them and everything else too. Hey, Joseph, I know you want to turn the camera around. We're fighting the sun, so we got the camera kind of set.
So I was wondering if he wants us to turn around, just see what's going on behind us.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
I don't know.
Well, Kelly has to be out here on camera and everything. So sorry, Joseph, we can't turn the camera around with that. I was hoping you'd see some more hot rods come by. Maybe most of them are already at the Scout Park and everything else too that come rolling by here.
I did see a while ago, they're lining up for the parade. Some of these cars are getting ready to go. And a gentleman right over here walked around in front of his car and crank started it. And I know I saw Phil get a little tinkle in his eye because he remembers doing that as a kid to have to go to school and stuff.
Not to go to school.
But yeah, that was uphill both ways in the snow, barefoot. So
yeah, but let me tell you, I have cranked a few cars, though. I will tell you that. Okay.
I don't think I have ever done that.
You haven't done that?
Okay, let me rephrase that. I've never done it on a car. I've done it on a tractor.
Okay, I'm going to back up on that too. I've never done it on a car either. Just tractors.
But I have done it on a tractor. So,
Yeah, and that's all right. I've not done it on any car.
So I have seen somebody, and I've never done it either, but I have seen somebody hand prop a plane.
Oh, start the plane?
Yeah. I'm out on that deal, but I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a little rough and a little tough, wouldn't it? So
yeah.
But anyway, Joseph, maybe it's you can hear the band in the background getting ready to go too. So this should there goes an old Cadillac, old convertible Cadillac. But anyway, there's all kinds of things going on here in Halstead today. It's every 5 years they bring back the high school reunion. So this is one of the 5-year deals. So I bet there's going to be a big crowd going down Main Street and stuff too today from that part. But anyway, we'll go back to the F-150 with all the stuff that's on that truck. And, with me, usually we drive in new trucks as demos, but now we don't because we don't have anything. And when you get out of one of those trucks that don't have all the stuff on it, it kind of spoils you a little bit. And it kind of, again, going back to supply chain and the chip shortage for the 23 F-150s, we cannot get the massage seats in those trucks. They're taking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to make it to where they can produce them faster and get them to the
get them out
to the
there.
consumers for sure. So
yeah, and there comes the Shriners in their big old orange Jeeps coming through. So
how about this Cadillac over here? How much do you think that thing weighs?
That thing's about a 7,000-pound deal.
Yeah.
God. Gosh, yeah.
You were styling, I bet, if you had one of them.
Well, I hate to tell you, I had a 77 Coupe de Ville, not quite that color green, but pretty close to that color green that I used to be styling around in. So, yeah. And it had a big old, I think it was a 502 cubic or 501 or something like that, cubic inch, big block Cadillac motor sitting in there.
Was it front wheel drive?
No, that was the rear wheel drive. They did have the rear front wheel drive. That was back then it was the Eldorado.
Yeah.
That had the front wheel drives and stuff on those. But yeah, I worked on a lot of those Cadillacs back in the day and stuff too. But yeah, that was a 77 Coupe de Ville, kind of that nice, like a brighter green when I had the white Landau top on her, Yeah. We were styling back in that time.
Yeah.
Deal. So, but anyway, yeah. And anyway, but back to the F-150s and the stuff that's happened there. Some of the other things that people don't like, but I don't mind it at all, is the auto stop. They're taking those off the trucks right now too, because that's some more chips. And then also the parallel park. And of course, I don't know how many people. Have you ever parallel parked one of those trucks?
So I've done
How
that.
about you? You ever done it?
Yeah,
I have.
I've done it quite a bit as a demo at the, Kelly and I will go around to some of the high schools or the VOTEC programs and stuff like that. And man, that always captures those kids' attention when you're, no hands on the wheel.
Let go of the wheel and it just takes off,
spins around
and whips in there.
But as far as a practical need for it, I've never done it that way. And so I'll bring that point up too. It's like the backup assist or the pro backup assist on that they have on there. And I mean, I think Ford really missed the market on being able to advertise that function or feature for it, because going to the lake here this last weekend, I can almost
you have to use it, Josh.
No. So I could almost.
What do you think? I think you used it.
Yeah.
I could almost spend the time at the lake, just at the boat dock, listening to husband and wife or two couples on trying to back a boat trailer in. You're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way, and back and forth, and and it's just I don't know. There's people that just don't back a trailer very often, but in those particular situations, that feature. It's amazing what it does. For somebody that knows how to back a trailer, you're probably not going to use it very much. But if you don't back a trailer a whole lot, it is absolutely, that'll take and put that trailer exactly where you want it.
Or if you have someone else backing your truck up, dropping your boat in the water, it's just very simple. It helps that back a trailer very, very well.
Yeah, and again, that's another feature that you're right. We haven't done a good job of getting that out there and demonstrating and everything else too. But there's so many features on these trucks like that. From that part, I mean, the one I still love the most is that adaptive cruise control, and even coming back with the race trailer last night from Salina, I had to think on, and it saved me many a times from that part. But anyway, hey, let's keep the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Anything in your car, tires, brakes, batteries, or you want to talk what's going on in Halstead, you want to talk about new products, whatever it might be, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Okay, so anyway, we talked about Lightning. Did we talk about Bronco?
So I hadn't talked about Bronco.
Okay, so what's happened with Bronco? It's going to be opening up soon too, but I don't know yet. We've got a bunch of 22s that haven't been what we call scheduled or get a date to be built. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have to move some 22s into 23. And again, don't know how many Broncos we're going to get, but I got a sneaky suspicion Ford is going to do the same thing they did last year at the end of the year. The bottle run is. Everybody wants the high-end Broncos is what people want. Mm-hmm. But there's a few of the people that want that base or model stuff, and I think they're going to build some base models for us again and to give us some more Broncos to sell the smaller motor, not as many options and that sort of thing. Down in the low 30s to high mid 40s trucks. I think you're going to build some of those to have that are not sold or whatever too. So there should be some Broncos available, but putting an order in is not quite yet, but it's getting close.
So now, we talked about the Bronco and the F-150 and stuff, but where are we at on a Raptor R or a Bronco R or what's?
Ooh.
Okay, well, we've got one Bronco Raptor scheduled. They told me we're going to get 4. I'm afraid some of those are going to get pushed to 23 also, because I've only got one scheduled, the Bronco Raptor so far. Now let's talk about Raptor. Used to be we'd get about 20 Raptors a year. And everybody's hot and bothered about this V8 Raptor that's coming. And basically it's the GT500 motor put in the Raptor. But there's more to it than just putting a motor in. They've got to change axles. They got to change drivetrain, everything else to handle that. They put it down to 700 horse instead of the 760. But not getting very many of those. I haven't disclosed that number yet.
Yep.
It is. I went and built one, and it's about 112, 113, depending. There's just a few options you can put on one. $1,000 worth of truck, but it's going to be a small number, and I've got a list this long of people that want the Bronco Raptor R. Not the regular Raptor R, but just for example, normally we'd get 20. Well, I will tell you, we're getting 4 regular Raptors for 23.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what my number is on the R.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And, hit Mel Ford, every one of our vehicles, we've never marked anything up over MSRP just because I don't feel it's right and good. But I hate to tell you this, I'm going to have to probably do that to figure out who really wants that R. And I've talked to some dealers that are really being really crazy with this number of how much they're marking them up over MSRP, because it is going to be a hot ticket, a hot car, a hot truck. And everybody wants that V8 back in that truck. But what they forgot about, I know the V6 doesn't sound as cool as it did or whatever, but that V6 is putting out more horsepower than that 6.2 was back when it was in the Raptor.
Yep.
There's still some doubt about that V6 out there in the world because it's a V6. I get it, and Dodge is out there with their Ram, the T-Rex, and I don't know what it's putting out for horsepower from that part. But so anyway, the Raptor R, I can't wait to see one. Can't wait to actually see one and drive it, and that sort of thing too, and see what 700 horsepower is like. But we know what 700 because these the Tuscany's come in at 775, and the Shelby's come in at right there. From that part.
So the that V6, when was like 2009 maybe? Was it 9 or 10 when it came out in the Taurus first? The EcoBoost from that side, and it has been extremely reliable. I mean, I can't think of too many situations or occasions where, and just the amount of torque and horsepower and everything that thing puts out, it's crazy. It's just a workhorse from that side of it.
I mean, if I had my choice right now today, if I was ordering an F-150 between an EcoBoost and a 5.0, hands down it'd be an EcoBoost. There's no question in my mind it's what it would be. But I got a couple guys, we have guys that just order trucks every year. And, we're ordering the 23 F-150s, and I've got a couple guys already come in, and I cannot convince them that the EcoBoost is the way to go.
Do you know what, and I'm not to put you on the spot or anything, but the percentage of F-150s that are ordered with the EcoBoost versus the 5-liter?
Oh, I would say my orders that I built with those is 90% are EcoBoost.
Yeah, and I just meant like Ford in general.
Oh, Ford in general. I don't know. That's another good question. I don't know what that number would be, but I'm just telling you, for us, it's 90% of EcoBoost. But I'm going to tell you today, now, if I'm ordering a 23 F-150, Power Boost is what I would have. No doubt in my mind, it would be the Power Boost for sure. I mean, I was from that part and everything else too. Would have the.
Yeah, I had one of those EcoBoost F-150s that I owned, and unfortunately, the only reason I had to come out of it is to get a diesel for my fifth wheel camper. But if it was not for that fact, I would still be in that EcoBoost F-150.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Loved it, hands down.
No doubt, I would be in an EcoBoost. And
there goes Derek.
Is that Derek? His wife drove by a little bit ago.
Oh, yeah. But
the Power Boost, I mean, today with the extra torque, and I wish I had those numbers in my head, how much more power that thing's got and all that kind of stuff too. But the fuel economy is what's crazy to me. I mean, if you take a Power Boost or the hybrid, whatever you want to call it from that form, the Power Boost on that deal, in town is when that thing really makes your fuel mileage. Yeah. And if you really try, I mean, I can try. I'm driving one right now. I used one. We got traded back in. Of course, the guy that traded that truck in bought the first Lightning. But if you really try with that truck in town, you can get 30 miles to the gallon with it.
Yeah.
But you got to try. On an average, I'm getting about 24, 25 in town, just driving around normal and stuff too. You don't realize how smooth that truck works when it switches into electric and back and forth from that part. But
it's not like the old hybrids. It's very, very seamless.
You can't, just like last night, I was coming back through my neighborhood coming home. I looked down, the RPM 0. I had no idea I was running on electric coming through my neighborhood. No idea. But that's what I would buy in a New York second would be the hybrid F-150, hands down. You wouldn't have to question me at all. And I know people are thinking about the batteries and all that kind of stuff and everything else too. But irregardless, just say the battery does go bad. You still got the engine in there to go and do what you need to go do with it with the truck. It's never going to lay down on you from that part. But anyway, hey, let's get the phones ringing. I hear some noise. What do you got coming, Kelly?
We got a stock car.
Got a stock car off the dirt track coming. I don't know who that is. I guess we could have brought Jake's car. Another. Put it through the parade. He's always wanted to do that. I never
wanted to drive it.
We've got another one coming in right behind him.
You know, it's
that's so yeah, that's God dang, I'm drawing blank on. He lives here in town. But I used to race modifieds against him, and it's his kids that are racing now. God dang it, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Well, for those of you that are watching, this really shows our ADD. Ooh, that's shiny. There is a lot going on here for sure. So the parade kicks off right after the radio show, right?
Yes, parade kicks off at 10 o'clock. It used to be, I don't know if they're still doing it or not. They used to have the kiddie parade, the little kids on the bikes and that sort of thing at 9:30. Is it still good?
Yeah, I saw it on the schedule.
And then the big parade kicks off at 10.
Yeah.
There's out of all the smaller communities, because we do this, a lot of different places. I will say that the crowd that this town draws, for this day is pretty impressive.
It is a large crowd for sure.
Bueller does a pretty good job drawing a pretty large crowd, but I don't know this, and I don't know size wise town compared to what this size is compared to Bueller, but
I think it's about pretty close to the same, isn't it?
It's got to be
close.
real
Bueller
close.
might be a little bit bigger from that part. Not sure about that, but I think so. I think Bueller's just a tad bit bigger.
Yeah.
From that standpoint too, but
I was going to say I thought Halstead was a little bit bigger, but maybe I'm a little bit biased. I don't know.
Might be just a little bit, right? Anyway,
that depends. Are you in the town or not?
Yeah, that's true. Of course, we got Robert Kenny standing over. He wants to be the Halsteadian, but he can't be. He just can't move into town and be a Halsteader. You have to have went to school here, done something, lived here, right, Kelly?
That's
you just
correct.
Can't move in and then all of a sudden you're a Halsteader. You got to earn that right to be a Halsteader.
I started out in third grade and graduated from here, so I think I'm kind of
my dad was born
myself to be in.
My dad was born and raised here, and then my mom came from Spearville in the 50s, so I believe yeah too. So anyway, the other thing we need to talk about too, I don't know why we haven't talked about it, and I feel bad I haven't said something already, but Tanner Mullins last night in the USMTS up at Lakeside Speedway won the Grant Younghands Memorial Race. It paid $20,002 to win. The reason the $2 is Grant's car number was number 2. Grant died, I believe, of a rare cancer and stuff, and they've done this race we missed it last year because of a rain out and stuff, so we tried to bring it back big, but Tanner did a great job last night, took off, won his heat race, and then drew, I think he started on the pole. And I wish I could have watched it, but we were in the middle of our feature last night when that was going on. And so as soon as our feature's over, my phone was blowing up and everything else like that. So that's pretty cool for Tanner and the Mullins gang and Buddy and Denise and, of course, Jason Nolf, who works for us at Big Corner Creatives on the crew chief down there for him and stuff. But pretty cool to get that big win down at Lakeside. Of course, tonight they're at I-70. I don't think they've ever raced on I-70 yet. I-70 is kind of a new track they put together out on the east side of Kansas City. Back in 90s, I got on that track when they brought out the new Firebird in 92, and it was asphalt back then. So we went out there and drove those Firebirds around that track. And I was on a board too with Pontiac at the time. So after everything was over, me and one of the Pontiac reps, they had stacks and stacks of tires, and we just burnt the heck out of tires.
You were just testing them, right?
Just test to make sure they were doing all right. So after everybody left, me and my Pontiac rep, we threw on a new set of tires on 2 of them. We took off. And how we didn't crash one or hit each other or do something, it was nuts. Going out there and having a blast, though. Anyway, part of the good fun, but so there'll be fun at I-70. Hope Tanner can get another good finish in tonight. He's chasing those points. He's second points with USMTS, and that's huge from that part. So congratulations, Tanner Mullen and Mullins Chassis. And I think Tanner's one of the very few out there on the circuit that builds his own car, builds their own motors, and does everything themselves from that part. So it's pretty huge to pull off that big win.
Yeah, we've got and then we've got the guys up at I-70 at Topeka at the drag races, I text Nick to see if he's got a chance or opportunity to call in and kind of give us an update on how things are going up there. So we'll see if we can get him on the line here.
And then as of, we went over to BG because BG is sponsoring Bob Tasca, who's a Ford dealer that's racing in the Funny Car Series. And he's just come off a win at Sonoma. And last night when I was thumping through, I got a notice on my Facebook page from him. He was #1 qualifier last night. So pretty cool for him and Bob Tasca. He was great to meet him. I've heard a lot about him and stuff like that too, but it's good to meet him in person. And just a good old down-to-earth guy. A little bitty guy too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know. I've always been you see these NASCAR drivers and drag drivers on TV, and then you meet them in person, and they're typically pretty small. They're kind of horse jockey size people. For sure. So I guess I'm out on NASCAR is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple stock cars rolling through here. God dang, I still can't think of that guy's name that lives here in Halstead. He's raced for years, and now his kids are into the sport and having fun with that too. So anyway, just a few minutes left on the show. If you got some more callers, 316-462-3673. Love to take your calls, give away the great price package for each and every caller. Only showing no you get paid to call in on. So anyway, getting ready for the parade to kick off here in about 10 minutes. So it'll be fun and exciting to see the crowd down Main Street. As always, and like you said, Josh, it's something about this old Halstead. It always draws a good crowd.
Yes, it does.
And a lot of fun, too. So wish I could stick around and have some more fun out here with everybody that's here and stuff. But as soon as the show's over, I'm headed back to service a race car and head to Hayes, Kansas to go race again. So should be fun in Hayes, Kansas. That's one thing I hate about going to Hayes. That drive, once you hit west of Salina,
Yep. It's good to have that adaptive cruise with the lane keep assist, right?
It's just not fun drive to get there. There's just nothing out there, and it's hilly and it's up and down, and it seems like you always got someone doing 40 mile an hour somewhere and everything else too from that part. So
that's out to Hayes.
Hayes, yeah.
I don't so Hayes or Dodge City.
Oh, I'd much rather drive Dodge City. That drive
Really?
to Dodge City is nice. You just go straight out 400 and you got a few towns you go through and that kind of thing. But
exactly. That's a big deal. You got a couple little towns you go through. It kind of breaks up the drive a little bit. You get out there on I-70 and it is just.
There's nothing. Yeah. It's hilly and it's down and windy and
very monotonous.
It's not bad if you're just driving a car, but when you're pulling that race rig and stuff, it's fighting through there too. You got another caller?
Yeah, I got Nick on the line. So Nick, how are things going up in Topeka?
Oh, pretty good. Staying really busy. Got a decent car count for this event. So lots of people, lots of fast cars this weekend.
That's cool. So is Bob Tasca still got the #1 qualifying spot for the funny car? Do you know?
Last I looked, he was last night. Yep. And I believe between most of the pro mod classes, top sportsmen, and a few of the other ones, Hoosier Tire is holding #1 qualifier in about every class that we're in. So.
Hey, that's pretty good. So how's the Hoosier Tires going? Everybody getting what we need? We got plenty of supply for them and everything?
The drag side is staying pretty steady. I mean, there's a few part numbers that are real popular that are come and go as fast as they show, but I'm pretty good with that so far.
Very good. So any exciting news or anything exciting happen up there in any of the classes yet? Anything up that can at all?
What's been
any
the
surprises?
biggest upset?
Yeah, there you go. Upsets, surprises, or
last night, so one of the in pro mod, Stevie Fast Jackson set the fastest mile an hour, and then was set #1 qualifier, and then he got passed 3 rounds after that by a nitrous car.
So when it say it's a mile an hour, how fast was it going?
I don't want to butcher it. I want to say he was like 206 or 208, something like that.
Is that a quarter or the eighth?
Eighth.
Holy moly!
I'd like to pull that off.
That's scooting.
That is moving down the track, isn't it? It's Nick. It's kind of fun. We were talking to Bob Tasca there. What was that, Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yep. Over at BG Products. They had him there and talking about that. And that's where I told him that the mile an hour for the funny car is still fastest at Topeka, Kansas, the national record. And I happened to be there that day when they went over 3:36, I think, or something like that. And everybody was thinking the timing was off and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy. Everybody going nutso with that. But he said how they slowed him back down, but he said now the crew chiefs have come back away and forgot to put that mile an hour right back in. So he's looking for NHRA to step in again and figure out something to do to slow him down. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
You know, I was when he was sitting there having that conversation, and we were talking about just the exhaust, and you know how one guy did it and was success on as far as tilting it back, and then he was running faster, so everybody's like, what's going on? And then it wasn't long, and everybody was following suit right behind him. So
yeah, so basically we're talking about, Nick, the curve of the headers used to go straight up, so that was thrust basically holding the car down. So then they leaned them back, and they figured out thrust pushing them forward. So then they leaned them all the way back to where it's straight out, and basically it made the car an airplane. So then
they do that in some of the smaller tire classes too. They actually tilt them towards the ground to help get the weight transfer to the back of the tire.
Yeah, and then they said that finally NHRA stepped in, and they have a template they put right over the header. They have to match a certain degree is all that can be of pushing that down and going through there. So it's crazy some of the things they do and stuff like that too on that part, from keeping these cars down, keeping them safe, and keeping them moving down the track.
So I got a couple of comments on here, and one of them says Phil's jockey size, so you can race. But then the other one says asked if it was Franz Racing.
Brian Franz, there it is. That is exactly who it is. Brian Franz and his two sons are driving those stock cars. There we go. God, I can't believe I couldn't get that out of my head.
Well, Troy Freeman helped you out on that.
Yeah,
so.
Brian Franz. That's exactly who that is. And Brian was a heck of a modified driver, and he's got out of the seat now and got his kids in those two stock cars. And I'm sure he's going to bring them up into the modified class. And Brian was always a great racer and a clean racer, and always had fun racing against him and stuff too. But he raced for many years from that part. So anyway, guys, we're about out of time.
Well, Nick, thanks for the update up there, and hope the weather's held out for you guys for sure the whole time you were up there. And
so what time does everything kick off up there today?
So they started running the classes at 8 o'clock this morning. So they're already underway right now.
So eliminations aren't until tomorrow, is that correct?
Some of the classes. So Superstock, I believe, the first round of eliminations just went down. And then this evening, I believe they've got the nitro cars and stuff are first round tonight. And then there's a few other classes that are first round tomorrow. So they kind of break it up. They've changed it around depending on what the run order is of the day, of how fast they're getting down the track or the track's temperature and so on.
Makes sense. Okay, well, Nick, hey, thanks for representing us up there at Topeka at the national event. Go Hoosier, right?
Yep.
And thanks for taking care of us up there and everything else too, and sell a lot of tires for us and make it happen and capture some good pictures and stuff that we can share when you get back, okay?
All righty, sounds good.
Have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, any last closing thoughts or comments, anything whatsoever before we roll out of here?
So, everybody's in back to school mode from that side of
it's crazy. I just heard these kids are ready to school this week.
Yep. So if you're sending junior off to college, make sure let's get that thing in, get it serviced, get the multi-point inspection done on it. So while they're off to college, we can maybe prevent any type of repair that you might have. So,
I just thought about one of the comments that Mike Sheridan brought up. What's going on the basically southwest part of our dealership? You see some dirt being moved, and basically we're building the state-of-the-art detail shop. We have so many used cars we're needing to get detailed, plus we're going to kick into the retail side of that. Yep. And we're building us a nice building back there. Hopefully we'll be in that building at the end of the year and have somewhere we're going to be offering a lot of things, from ceramic coating to films and the 3M film and stuff on your cars and stuff like that too. But the biggest thing is we're going to have a detail shop that is second to none, that's going to detail your car and bring it back to life and everything else too. But I think we got a good plan of how we're going to put an assembly line in there together and everything else too. So that's what's happened on the southwest corner. We're building a building there. I can't remember the dimensions of it, but it's a good sized building. We're putting together back there for our detail shop. The next thing for Mel Hambelton out at the big corner, right?
They were back there going to town on moving dirt. It's amazing, those machineries and them guys up there.
Make short work of it, don't they?
Yeah, I could do it, but it would not look graceful.
I don't know how they cut that out so square and perfect and everything else. Yeah. I guess that's
what
you did.
It's level.
Oh yeah,
and
crazy nuts.
It took them one day.
I think it's called practice. I don't think you just hire on and do that.
I don't think you just jump in the seat and it winds up looking like that.
I've always wanted to run an excavator.
Me too.
And I just wanted to start somewhere and start digging a hole until somebody come up and says, "What are you doing?"
I want to demo something though.
Yeah.
Now, we might be able to get that chance because
Oh, the
details-
old buildings. That's right.
Because I think what we're planning on doing is we're just going to level those 3 buildings over there, or haul them off. So when that first excavator comes in, I might have to be in the seat there just to do those, running the deals and yank it down. You know what I'm saying?
See what we can tear up. There you go.
Yeah.
Probably a hydraulic hose the first go, and then you lose about 75 gallons of hydraulic fluid.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
so
it's broke. Sorry.
I say I
Is
gotta
that
go.
Josh's bicycle down there?
Look at that. I wondered how they got on those things.
That seat is 7 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I'm out.
That's wild.
No, my luck, I'd fall it over.
Yeah.
How about stopping?
Well, you see what he did there? He got on back of that truck.
Well,
Yeah.
I've seen that, but now how about when he's in the parade,
Yes, you gotta keep moving.
I don't think you can stop on something like that.
like the jack wagon in front of him, just
Or you're going to
decides,
have
you
to
know
go
what?
beside a
I'm gonna-
car and hang on, I guess.
Do
Or something.
something.
I'm going to brake check this guy.
But yeah, he is about 7 feet in the air, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's 7 feet to the bottom of his pedals.
Right. Maybe.
Wow.
I mean, he's going to come down the street and we'll see him on camera here real quick. See if he comes this way. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Hey, anyway, everybody, sorry for the technical difficulties getting started on the show, but it is what it is. We can't fix all the technical difficulties. Going the other way, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll thought maybe we get to see him on the deal. So anyway, we're getting ready to kick off the parade here at Halstead and have some fun. They got the ice cream truck here ready to go. Then we'll head over to the car show and have some fun there with all the cars and all that stuff. So if you're looking for something to do this afternoon, Halstead is the place to be.
Plenty to do.
So, hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you all next Saturday.